Okay, so on the first day of class, I said that I wanted to go back and look at the syllabus more at a later time. So that's what we're going to do right now. Go back to where we left off on the syllabus. And we left off where I was talking about your grade. And we talked about the participation component, which everyone should have 100 on participation. You do everything you're supposed to, come to class, do all the work, you get a 100 here. You will be turning in all of your homework, and I'm going to take you into Brightspace to make sure that everybody's seeing where I'm posting what it is that they need to turn in. But your first quiz date is September 15th, right? So, all of the homework that will be listed under that module that says Quiz 1 material will be due September 15th. Right? Then you're going to have another quiz, September 27th, that will be the rest of the material for exam 1. Okay? There are 2 major exams plus the final, and the first major exam is October 5th. And I plan to do the exams on Thursday nights. I know some of you will have conflicts. Some of you might have class, you have to work. There will be a reason why some of you need to make up the exam at a different time. I offer times earlier in the day on Thursday for people to take the exam, or they can just take it on Friday during regular class time. But I like to be able to do it on Thursdays because I design an exam that takes the average student an hour. Okay, that means some students will finish it in 40 minutes. That means other students will want an hour and a half. Okay, so I like to do it in the evening so that we don't have the time crunch, and that way, you can take the time that you need. And instead of then, since I add this extra requirement at night, then I have to cancel a class to make up for it. I think you're going to like the days that I cancel because October 6th is the Friday before the long weekend, especially you guys in the class that goes till 3:20, right? Who wants to be in class till 3:20 the Friday before a long weekend? And then the same thing, this is the Monday of the Thanksgiving break week. So notice we'll take an exam on Thursday evening, but instead of canceling class Friday, I will cancel it Monday because that's the Monday of the break week. And I know many students do start traveling home before the break officially starts on Wednesday. Okay, we will come back from break and there will be a small amount of material left. So there'll be a quiz on December 4th. So this time only one quiz leading up to the exam. Okay, normally there are 2 quizzes leading up to each exam. Now, here's the policy with the quizzes. They are truly designed to help you, okay? Meaning that that's where you should work out all the kinks and the confusion and recognize and realize what it is that you don't understand that you need more help with. So let's say you take both of these quizzes and you get in the 70s on both. Okay, but then you do what you should and you figure out what you missed and you buckle down and you study. And suppose on the exam then on October 5th, you get an 88. Okay, I will go back and replace these 2 quizzes that are in the 70s with the exam score of 88. Okay, so your quiz grades can be replaced if you do better on the exam. Now, it does occasionally happen that someone did better on the quizzes and worse on the exam. Okay, I don't go back and take away points from your quizzes if that happens, but I do move your quiz grades up if you show me by the exam that you have learned the material that maybe you struggled with the first time I tested you on it. So at the end of the class, we have a cumulative final exam. So by this point, you've been tested on every bit of material because this last little short test tests you on the very end of the material. So the final exam then is cumulative. And I think a lot of what is left on my syllabus is kind of self-explanatory. I've talked to you about the importance of attendance, even though I'm recording. This is an in-person class. And I always like to pass back quizzes promptly. So if you do miss a quiz, I'll want you to make it up before the next class meeting. Some years I jokingly say, although maybe one of these years I'll actually do it, but I'll jokingly say that I'm going to keep an excuse log, okay? Because I have had in the past people who seem to get sick on every quiz, and it's hard for me to remember, but sometimes I'll say, weren't you sick on the last quiz day also? So again, if things come up, I'm very understanding, but nobody should have like 6, 7, 8 excuses all in one semester, because then at that point, they're just excuses. So if you're not present in class, you should watch the recording, and then you can make up the classwork. Usually students do it on their own. If you need to come to my office hours, you can do it. You only have a week to make up the participation though. So if in December you're panicking about your grade and you want to fix the zeros on participation back from September, that's too late. Okay, so you only have a week to make up participation work if you miss that. Again, you can read. I'm not going to read this to you. Some of these are just things the college says that we should put on our syllabus. And extra help, we've got Mia, who all of you have met. And if you Google Math Learning Center SUNY Geneseo, it will pop up, the web page for this will pop up, and there will be a schedule of the times when the Math Learning Center is open. So let me stop sharing here and then take you into the Brightspace. Okay, so when you're on Brightspace, so again, you see different things than I do because I brought in my course from last year. So you've got right now optional remediation assignments. None of those have to be handed in. And you'll notice, because we're going to finish up trig in this video, I added an optional trig homework. If you feel like you need more practice just drawing the sine and cosine curve, filling in the values of the angles, changing degrees to radians, then I encourage you to do that homework. Okay. Then another module that you have then is called Daily Lessons and Assignments, and it says quiz August 28th through, and then whatever date I say this is the cutoff for the material. I always give a couple days between when we end the material and then when I quiz you on it. Okay, so notice what's in here. We have the lab, which is not part of the homework you're going to turn in on quiz day on September 15th. Okay, so this is due the 6th. And then I made a little sub module in here where the minimum of the self quiz is required. Okay, so these were up the other day. I hope you've already done them. The factoring, I'm going to review factoring with you a little bit on Wednesday. So if you want to wait to do that assignment, that's completely reasonable. I just added equation of a line. In teacher language, we call this differentiating instruction because you do have to do the self quiz, but then there's a challenge problem at the end. So if you get 100 on the self quiz, I still want you to do the challenge problem. Okay. If you find that just practicing equation of a line is enough for you, then I will accept your homework without number 5, as long as I see that you worked on the rest of the assignment and did those practice problems. Okay, so some of these, again, not all of you need to be doing pages of remedial work. Okay, but for those of you that need it, it's there and that's a support for you. So over here, I just assigned the other night for homework, shifting parent functions. This is high school content. I really didn't review it or reviewed it just really briefly in class. But there's a video here that can help you if you need it. And then normally when I give homework assignments, I have the answer key as part of the same document. Now this calculus document that we're working on, or the trig document that we're working on, didn't have an answer key attached to it. So again, I made a little sub module here where I put the answer key to the trig examples. So this will, it started off as a class handout, but this will turn into homework. So far, these are all the things that you should be working on and putting together in a nice, neat pile in order that you could be prepared to turn in on September 15th. Okay, so right now I am going to end this video and start fresh with a little bit of trigonometry in the next one.